Hello, friends. This is Dulcé Sloan. I got shows coming up on December 9th and the 10th at the Creek in the Cave in Austin, Texas with my good sister friend, Lace Larrabee from America's Got Talent. And on New Year's Eve, I'm going to be at the Aurora Theater in Lawrenceville, Georgia, doing the show for New Year's Eve. It's 8 p.m. show, so you can still get turned up later on. Also, fun fact about me, I interned at the Aurora Theater when I was a senior in high school. They watched a girl grow up, and now I got a show there. Yay! And if you have any ideas about what you want me and Josh to talk about, please send us in your ideas to our YouTubes and to the DMs. And also, if you're a nice single man, you know what to do. Thanks for listening. Bye!
Welcome, everybody. You know, do you like the way I started that welcome? That you usually get that with churches. Welcome.
It was very warm. I was like, okay, Joshua was in a good mood today. Welcome. Amen, saints.
Amen, saints.
Good morning, saints.
Well, you have tuned in to another episode of Hold Up with me, one of your co-hosts, Josh Johnson, Brian for The Daily Show, and I'm joined by
Dulcé Sloan.
Always got them. Okay.
Don't do that. You know what?
No, it's
you
okay.
Need to find some flair. You need to find some flair.
I need to find some. Okay. Today's episode that we're going to be doing for y'all is something that we've been diametrically opposed on for quite a while. It is hotels versus Airbnbs. Yes. Let me explain why the Airbnb is coming through stronger. Okay. One, not every place you want to visit has a hotel nearby. Okay. There are some places that you want to go where the hotel is going to be quite a drive from where you actually want to hang out. Whereas an Airbnb has the ability to be much closer to the things that you want to do. It's a chance. It's a second chance to be at the city center when all the hotels are like, oh no, I'm sorry, we're full. There's no room in the inn. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you trying to be born in a manger.
And so I'm just saying an Airbnb, it offers a different style, a different flair. You were talking about flair. It offers a different flair of decor when you are staying somewhere. Whereas hotel, we talk about it all the time. Almost every hotel out there has bad art on the walls. It has uncomfortable towels. Okay. It has sheets that when the bed is made tight, like marine tight, and you can bounce the coin off of it, you may never get out. You may cocoon yourself, sweating yourself half to death. Okay. Okay. You got to worry about what's happening in the building. It's not just someone's apartment. It's not just someone's house where there's now some level of control with the variables. Okay. You have to worry about a whole building. You may check into a hotel and they're like, hey, sorry, we doing construction. So you about to not sleep for the next 3 nights. That could happen at someone's house, but more likely it won't happen. Don't smile at me like that. Don't do that.
I am listening intently.
No, I know you're listening. But that's also the smile of somebody who, like, you're acting like I've stepped into some sort of trap, and I don't appreciate. Just don't smile at me like that.
Yeah, hey, man, that's how you feel.
But hey, that's how I feel. You know that when you smile like that at a person, you know what you're doing. Don't act like you don't know what you're doing right now. That, you know what I mean? That's what I can't stand for. Don't smile at me like that. They'd be like, what? Don't do that.
I didn't even know I was smiling like that, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, but
I'm over here just building my case. I'm just building my case.
I understand, but you smile like you caught somebody in a lie. I'm just telling you how I feel.
Like I'm in an argument with my man or something and being like, oh, okay, nigga, all right.
There's nothing like when someone gets caught. The people's reactions when they catch somebody in a lie is like, because sometimes they get more upset, and sometimes it's weird when people don't get more upset. I don't like that. Like if someone
No.
caught me in a lie, I'm gonna need you to be caught now. Catch. You need to catch now. All right. I don't like this thing of like, hey, okay, I lied to you, and now you're like,
okay,
oh, okay, oh, all right.
Don't catch and release me is what you're saying.
Exactly. All right.
I'm that fish. I want to be in the net. I want to be on a plate.
Yeah.
I'm caught.
Go ahead. Hit me with the hammer. All right.
It's already been caught in.
The last thing I need is to throw me back out into the water with the hook still in my mouth, and now I'm swimming away like I'm fine.
I've always thought that was like, I always think about that Mitch Hedberg joke about like catch and release, where it's just like you just made a fish late to something, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Spot on.
Because I was like, so you just, like, this fish was living his life. Like, this fish didn't want a piercing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
this fish is just swimming through nature, living their life. If all of a sudden, because you got $1,000 fishing lure, you know, and don't want to speak to your children or your wife or your significant other, because, you know, there are also all types of people fish. You want to be by yourself out here on God's waters. Now you just out here poking holes in fish, right? Because think about it. If you put a fish, you poke holes in the fish, you catch the fish, right?
Yeah.
Also, I always wonder about like how that works. Like, okay, if they eat like fly fishing, you ever seen somebody make a fly? It's crazy.
No, it's wild. I don't have the patience. I'm blown away by it.
I was like, there's no way you have good eyesight. If you do that for 40 fucking years, either you can only see a foot ahead of you, or like you're reading menus and your phone like this. Like this.
Yeah.
But also, I'm like, so they bite into it, and I guess the design of it makes it immediately go through the lip, but it's just like, I'm sure it has to heal, like it has to be clean, like in like water, but like, I wonder sometimes, like, if them fish get caught, don't they die from the, they could get an infection, right? That's like any living thing getting a cut.
I mean, I have no idea. The waters that we fish in sometimes are actually pretty nasty. So as soon as you cut them, that's a death sentence right there, even if you decide to throw them back. I will say, okay, this is my fault. Airbnbs.
Oh, I'm good. Listen, if you know anything about this here podcast, which we all have to acknowledge that a podcast is just an old school radio show. We all have to acknowledge this. It's like somebody was like, damn, I wanted to listen to something, but not music. What do I have? The radio? No. NPR can only do so
ideas.
much. I need ideas. NPR can only do so much. You know what I mean? But I see the arguments that you are making. I see.
Oh, last thing I'll say on the first drop of my argument is, we're gonna do several drops throughout the podcast, back and forth. But I feel like the review process comes in much heavier for an Airbnb than a hotel. I've seen hotels get bad reviews, and sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't respond. Sometimes they are, horrible, like 1.9, right? And it'll be a Holiday Inn Express. But this franchised Holiday Inn Express is not closing down, even if it is level 1.9 out of 5, until they deem it unprofitable. Whereas with Airbnb, you can go ahead and get shut out of Airbnb. Airbnb is watching. Airbnb is watching for those reviews. Did people have a good time? Did people enjoy their stay? Was it clean? I can read all those reviews as someone who's about to. I know you can read reviews for a hotel, but because you need to leave them in Airbnb, now there's a wider span of knowledge you can gain about a stay before you go there.
I hear what you're saying. One, construction is construction. You don't know who's going to be building what where, right? That's a risk with the Airbnb. That's the risk with a hotel. Also, you don't know if you're going to be near a train. You don't know if you're going to be, near a fire station or a police station. These are things that you have to look up on your own. 2, bad art. I've seen bad art in an Airbnb. I've seen bad art in a hotel. I've seen bad art in a doctor's office. Bad art is out here walking in nature, doing its thing, being like, hey, your eyeballs, I'm going to offend them. I'm going to be a problem. Somebody with bad taste had approximately $142 and really needed to decorate somewhere. Like that's what they was out here doing. Okay? Somebody walked into a Target and was like, you, come here. You know? Somebody went to your local Hobby Lobby. Somebody went to your Home Goods, your TJ Maxx, your Marshalls. It was like, I have $116. Let's make this happen. Right? Okay. Towels. I have been in Airbnbs with bad towels. I have been in hotels with bad towels. But what I can say is that if you are at a hotel and you have bad towels, whether they are hard, whether they're not clean, whether whatever, you can usually look into the hallway and be like, excuse me, hi, I need some new towels. Okay? This is the advantage of staying in a hotel, right? Because you are not limited to... Like, I've been in Airbnbs, I've had to buy my own toilet paper, right? Because you only out here with this see-through, might as well be a fine mesh, okay? Half-ply toilet paper that you done put on here. Like, you making your own piñata at the house. Where did you get, listen, I know there's tissue paper. You know when you give someone a present, that paper that you put in to the bag, put that on roll and put it in a bathroom, right? Mm-hmm. I've been in Airbnbs that thin ass toilet paper. I've been in hotels that thin ass toilet paper. What I can tell you is that the budget for a hotel is going to be bigger. Also, I'm not finna have all these fucking stipulations that these Airbnbs be having because you know your ass not supposed to be Airbnb in this apartment. So now I gotta meet you 7 blocks a fucking way to get the key, and you literally have instructions. We had an Airbnb one time. It was me, Shalewa, and Mia, and it was literally, don't speak to the neighbors. Don't make no eye contact. It literally said, don't talk to anybody going to get in there because technically your ass ain't supposed to be having no Airbnb. So now there's more and more situations where it's just like, you are not supposed to be doing what you are doing. Now I am violating your lease with you. And if you are staying in an Airbnb somewhere and it says on the lease that this person cannot sublet or cannot Airbnb, if the neighbors tell the office, I'm now getting kicked out. Mm-hmm. Because your ass is doing something that you don't have no business doing. Mm-hmm. Also, now the issue is people are getting apartments and getting multiple apartments just so they can Airbnb them. And it is a big problem in a lot of major cities, especially New York and Los Angeles, where these could be places that somebody can live, but now you're an Airbnb this whole. And so the rent in this place is supposed to be, I don't know, $2,000. You charging somebody $2,000 just to stay for the weekend. Mm-hmm. So now you are forcing people out of affordable, I don't know how affordable the housing is, but you're taking up space with a lease for somewhere some people don't live. Then, when it comes to the security, right? Mm-hmm. If you are in an apartment building, you are at the mercy of whatever the hell is going on in that neighborhood. You don't know them people. You see what I'm saying?
The mercy.
Okay.
Yeah, just that's very that sounds like the advice that my mom would give me. Like, you are at the mercy of whatever is going on in that neighborhood.
That's it. You are now a resident of this part of town.
Yeah, yeah.
A hotel has security. A hotel has cameras. A hotel.
Ooh.
Now listen.
Depending.
Because I've been in many hotels where it was just me and Mr. Patel was out here.
Hey, it would. Sometimes I was security.
Right. We've been at.
And it's like, I'm no security.
Listen. We've been
I can snitch at best.
I'm going to get loud. I might throw something, but somebody else got to show up, right?
Yeah. Assault. I see assault. Right. That's the best I can do for you.
I'm in my room.
I'm not jumping in.
It depends on the situation, but for the most part, I'm in my room. Why is there not a man here?
Also, if the police come and they are interviewing me and the person that did it is standing behind the police looking at me, I'm going to have to lie. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but like, he's looking right at me.
I will say whatever I need to say, and then I'm immediately, once he's in the police car, I'm checking out and I'm going to another hotel.
I hope I can say enough for them to hold him. Because if I
Listen,
can't,
if he don't, even if he don't, especially if he don't get in the car, I'm going to another hotel. I'm leaving at 4 a.m. in the morning. My ass is out of here. No, we not getting off at the same floor. I'll get off at a different floor and go up some fucking steps or down some steps. You're not gonna notice the floor in the room I'm staying at, right? So
there's nobody. There's nothing like dry snitching on somebody and then you guys sit next to them.
listen, and that's somebody who's had to talk to the police and been like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Hey. Y'all, I'm not part of it. All right.
Why don't you know? You're not
Please
gonna
do your job and know. I need you
right.
to know. Yeah.
Also, the music wasn't that loud. Somebody white called the police. We was really just fine. Because it depends on the police who's quitting call. Like, why are we being called? Because it's like, if I'm just standing here. Also, I can say that now that I don't smoke, I don't see a lot of shit that happens at night at hotels because I'm not outside.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's a huge part of it. So sometimes the only reason I saw anything was because I was coming back from a show, right?
Yep.
This had nothing to do with me. I'm trying to walk in.
Yep.
And as I'm trying to walk in, they're like yelling about something, screaming about something. I'm like, y'all, I don't want any part of this.
I remember I was checking into a hotel one time. This dude had a bottle of wine and a cat wrapped up in his hoodie trying to check in. And the bottle slipped and I caught it. But then in the process of trying to catch the bottle, him trying to get the bottle, the jacket falls and then the cat gets out. And he's like, oh my God. And the guy at the front desk was like, yeah, we allow animals. You didn't even have to hide the cat. Because you could just see the dude was like, listen, because like he paid for a hotel room and like cash and a card, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I've been sleeping in my car for a couple days and I finally got some money up. And I was just like, and the guy at the front desk just didn't have I think the guy ended up charging him like lower than what the rate of the room was. Because it was like.
Yeah. We all want this person to succeed because
yes,
they're clearly going through something, you know?
What was more miraculous to me is that cat made no noise. If his jacket hadn't slipped, nobody would have knew he had a cat. So the cat already knows what the campaign is.
Mm-hmm.
So the cat is like, you know what? The cat did what the cat was supposed to do. I guess for me, hotels edge it out because sometimes hotels got a pool, hotels got a gym, hotels have a bar.
Okay.
A hotel could have a business center, which is just a room with a printer.
Hey, that business center stuff needs to stop. That business center, that's like when they have a gym. Can I tell you, I've stayed in some hotels where they said they had a gym, and it didn't even. When I tell you, it's just simply not a gym. like it.
Just fundamentally.
Like I ended up going to the place and being like, y'all. Like I went to the front desk and I was like, y'all can't be. Don't talk to people like this. Don't tell people things are gyms that aren't gyms. Don't do that.
This man went and complained, y'all.
I wasn't even like mad. I was just like, y'all know what you did. Like it wasn't.
The jig is up.
Yeah, I didn't even have anger in my heart. I was just like, hey, y'all, stop.
You just
Don't
walked
do
up and
that.
was like, listen, in the words of Al Sharpton, do not piss in my face and call it rain.
Yeah.
Don't do that to me.
I know what a gym is. I've been in gyms. Y'all had a broken dumbbell. Have you ever seen a broken dumbbell?
Is that just one
You ever
half?
seen a dumbbell? So first of all, is one half. It looked like a stick, right?
How do you even break a dumbbell?
It's a stick with some weight on because some dumbbells are screwed in. So some of them just have the full whatchamacallit. Some of them have the full weight completely connected, but some of them don't do that. So some of them, they really do have like an issue of like being screwed in with the weights because they're plated. So the ones that are plates are just screwed in that way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I walked in. It was a treadmill that looked loose, right? So I have and I didn't get on it, so I'm not going to lie on the people and say it was definitely loose, but it looked loose because the tread on it was just, like when somebody's sneaker about to fall apart?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
So it was like talking on the bottom?
Yep.
I've seen a loose treadmill and been like, this is the most dangerous thing I've ever seen. And I'm
Yeah.
someone that has fallen, like as a child. We tried to see how fast it could go and tried to see if you could catch up with it.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't do it for the longest time. I'm talking about up until maybe, this probably happened when I was like 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I had a scar on my right knee and a scar in the middle of my chest because I fell down. And this treadmill took the skin off my knee and the skin off the middle of my chest. For a long time, I had some scar on my chest that looked like fucking Brazil. Because like, we were at my mom's boss's house and they had a gym in their house. And fucking Sandy Springs. And so they had to go on as fast as we had to go as fast. And we just tried to jump on and see if we can run. And I fucking fell. Thank God it got my chest and not my chin. I at least fell to the point where I was like, my face. Because I could have fucked my shit up. I could have been really out here just giving you a real Quasimodo. Just a real... Because I could have took off the whole side of my face. Your girl could be living a different life right now. You understand?
Yeah.
I could not be in the public. I could have lost all of this. All of this could have gone. All of it. My whole chin. At least knew enough to fucking hold my head up. Because I went back into a wall too. My brother fell too, but didn't catch him like that because I think he had pants on. But yeah, honey, a loose treadmill.
I also, okay, this is my thing. When you talk about amenities, all right, there are hotels that say they have a thing they don't have. We already covered gyms.
Yep. Or restaurants
because there are some places where I'm like, y'all cook the sheets. I can tell that there's sheets in this soup.
Shut up, Josh.
This tastes like dirty soup. There are stains in this soup. Okay.
What I've never understood is why hotel bars close so early.
I think that they don't want to encourage because specifically because it doesn't make sense. It makes sense to me. So the way that you're like, why would a hotel bar close so early? You're already there. That's exactly why they're like, we got to shut this down.
Oh, because they're already here.
They're already here. So they don't even have to worry about like, if hotel bars closed at 4, everyone would stay till 4. Like everybody, you already staying there. You don't have to worry about like getting your keys taken away. You don't have to worry about catching an Uber home or anything. You're already there.
I'm just going upstairs. I'm just getting in an elevator.
And you're telling yourself you're going to go upstairs, but you stay for 3 more drinks, you know?
Well, I think the other thing that the reason they don't do it is because of adultery. Maybe.
Wait. Wait, help me out. Wait.
To not facilitate an accident. Like a oops. Like a...
Because this is a hotel.
Yeah.
So they already halfway to helping. Like,
I hear it's... And they may know that. That's why that fucking hotel... That's why this hotel bar closed that kid. Because it's a business trip. Somebody's on a business trip with their work husband, clear across the damn country at some fucking convention about, I don't know, boxes or, law, whatever people have conventions for jobs.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Okay.
So you and the other dude in the office that be kind of flirting or whatever. Now y'all at this hotel bar. Because the thing is, like, if you go to a restaurant and get drunk with, somebody you could cheat on your husband with, or, your significant other with, if there's, like, leaving a bar, being in an Uber could be like, okay, we need to talk. This is a mistake, blah, 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 blah. Y'all at the hotel bar. And now it's 2 a.m. So y'all done left the restaurant, had a little conversation in the Uber. Y'all get back at 10. So from 10 until 2, y'all sitting up talking, laughing, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, we're closed. Well, what should we do? Oh, we should grab a couple more. Because you could also leave with a drink from a hotel bar. So you can order 2 more drinks and then go hang out somewhere. And now all of a sudden, you are getting a divorce.
I understand what you're saying.
That's why I think that they don't let hotel bar. Also, it's because of that, and I also think it's because of people who work in a certain industry. People of the night. Because those ladies and gentlemen, and however they identify, that's none of my business. They frequent bars and hotel bars. Lord, I sound like my mama, but I've seen it. Because I met a girl who did it.
Uh-huh.
I met a businessman who was looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
And they both ended up having a good night, I guess. That's none of my business. All I'm saying is that if your bar is open till 4 in the morning at these local hotels, you could be inviting certain situations that don't need to happen. Because I've seen hotel bars close at 9, 10. 9 is ridiculous. You need to make some money.
Yeah, but they've been open all day.
They've been open since noon.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess maybe noon. I feel like a lot of those bars, it's like they do this. It's usually a bar and restaurant thing. And it's usually a slight brunch into the evening, into dinner, into like closing at 9. So that's why I feel like they've been open for enough hours to function, you know?
Right. But I'm not saying, I understand enough hours to function, but I also understand enough hours to get this shmoney's, okay?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm having a little bit of trouble with your theory around them trying to hold America's marriages together, just because
No.
they'd have to be making so much, they'd have to be leaving so much on the table.
No, I don't think it's about keeping marriages together. I think they don't want to be a precipitating factor in what breaks one up.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
So they don't want people being like, after you stayed at the Ramada,
right?
We were never the same.
Right.
Yeah, I got you.
Don't start none, won't be none. So we're going to shut this bar down at a good Christian 9:45.
Yeah.
So your dumb ass will call your wife and go to bed.
Which is crazy because it's really midnight that nothing good happens after. I feel like 10 and 11 are still reasonable hours for a nightcap.
Not if you got to go to a conference in the morning. And conferences we starting at fucking 8 and all of that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That makes sense now.
So if you got a conference, you got to be out there with your badge and that binder.
You know who doesn't have to worry about these problems at all?
Somebody is staying in an Airbnb?
Airbnbs, okay? But there is no Airbnb bar. If there is, it's a bar that's in the house that you already invited the person to, so you already doing wrong, okay? Right. There's no temptation.
Okay, but we have to acknowledge the furniture in Airbnb is the most uncomfortable doll furniture. Bro, the Airbnbs I've been in lately, bitch, where's the rest of this couch?
Oh, yeah, I can see that. There's some of them try to be too stylized. Like
too
some of them
stylized,
really
too minimalist.
That's my thing. Is I will say that is a point you've brought up that I completely agree with, where I've stayed at a couple places where I'm like, you're not a Buddhist.
Bro!
You were just being cheap because this stuff is from IKEA. So you could have got a little extra IKEA in here.
You could have, all you needed was one smooth trip to Rooms to Go.
All you needed was a shiny rent-a-center, okay?
Yeah. Listen, I was just going to say, you need Rooms to Go, you need a rent-a-center. Hell, Ethan Allen in this bitch, okay?
Yeah.
Buy some real fucking couches. The shit is insulting. How am I in the couch and on the floor at the same time? And I'm like, I know I'm not. I'm not a tiny woman, but I've never been cut out of a house either. So...
And look, not to take away from the point that you just made, because I do agree with that. But if you're looking for, like I said in the beginning, decor, hotels aren't making strong choices.
If you're looking for decor, you need to go home. Why are you worried about the decor somewhere that ain't your house? Is the bed clean? Someone
visit somewhere nice.
I'm not saying it's not to be nice. What I'm saying is, if you're not going to pick a hotel because of the lamps they have, you don't really need a hotel that bad.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. If the art on the wall, because I've been to some Airbnbs that has, the worst art I've seen someplace, terrible decorating has been in Airbnbs. Terrible decorated. The number of times I've stayed somewhere, I'm like, oh, this is a Bachelor. It's giving you very much first apartment. It's giving you my first apartment. First good job. It's giving you Bachelor pad.
Oh, God.
It's giving you somebody who took just one overview of a page on Pinterest and was like, yes, everything should be great. Everything is great.
This is my other issue, right? I understand. I'm completely with you on the drawbacks of how people individually run their Airbnbs. You get people who are like, "Oh, hey, I got just enough forks for the people who rented the Airbnb." Like, I'm with you there. I will say though, there are hotels where if you don't want to just be in the common area with everybody, if you don't want to be sitting in the lobby talking, the room itself is a lot of times, depending on your stay,
right,
is not equipped to have a get together in the room, right? So maybe you have 3 or 4 friends that want to hang out with you while you're in your room, but you have a twin bed, you have a little couch or seat, sofa situation in front of a TV, and then that fourth person, fifth if you're feeling crazy, is standing.
You plan to get together in a space that could not accommodate.
You know, it can accommodate.
Depends on the size of Airbnb that you're in. Because I've been at Airbnbs where it's like when they first started doing them, the first one I was ever in, this girl was renting out her room, but she had a roommate, which was the most disrespectful thing. One of the best parts of being in that space was my homeboy was making the bed and found a bottle on the side of the bed, and I was like, "What's this?" And I was like, "Oh, I bet it's lube." And he said, "What?" And he said, "Oh, it's lube." And then and he's somebody who's disgusted by feet. So that bottle of lube from that girl wore him the fuck out. Now, mind you, he's an EMT. He has been covered with every bodily fluid from a person has been on his body.
Yeah.
And feet are still disgusting to him. I was like, yeah, I feel like this is a thing that you just think makes you interesting. I don't know what this is for. Also, it's like you've been covered in multiple bodily fluids of different, and it's like it still be like feet. Ugh. And I'm like, I don't believe you. I love you. I've said this to his face. I love you, but I don't believe you. Now, if you're trying to squeeze 4 people into a hotel room that you know is not big enough, that's your own fault. You're the one trying to put all them people in that little ass room.
I understand, but I'm just saying, I'm not saying you should do it and be surprised. I'm saying that if 2 people tried to do it, the likelihood that one of them would be able to do it is leaning on the Airbnb side.
But that depends on the size Airbnb that you got, the size Airbnb that you have. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's apartments in New York where people can't get 4 people in their fucking apartment. Only way you can get 3 people in this bitch is on speakerphone? No, absolutely not.
The hotel thing that you mentioned earlier, which I do think is a drawback of hotels. Hotels are getting pretty high and mighty with these prices.
Yo!
Knowing that Airbnbs are out there as well, and you're still going to raise the prices this high?
And not only that, did you forget that we were just in a pandemic and nobody was staying in these bitches?
Also, where were you when you were thinking, all right, I'm going to charge more, but I'm going to clean the room whenever I feel like it? I also clean my own room. And it's not even a thing of like, this is my thing. What I will do is if I am staying in a hotel, depending on how long I'm staying, if I know I'm going to be staying for a while, let's say I'm staying somewhere for 2 weeks. Like, let's say I'm staying there for a stint. Okay? Right. Every 3 days, I'll let somebody clean my room, but I clean my room every day. Or if it gets to the point where I'm like let's say I'm in a situation where my room isn't that big, so there's not too much to clean up, then it's every 5 days. Because there have been some times where I'm like, look, I'm gonna have this person, I'm gonna let this person come clean the room just so they can get a head start on their day, because I know it would be too junky to clean up all at once when I leave. So I'm a day away from leaving, So let me go ahead and let them like clean the room in a way that's like just taking out the trash and stuff so that it's not stinky in here or anything like that. Like,
well, I'll put the trash.
But I clean my room every day.
Right. Like what I'll do, like when I was in Melbourne, I think it was there for like 14 days. But it was one of those like almost like an extended stay situation. Like it was a full kitchen in there. Also, like if you're not somebody who's ever been in a hotel for like 2 weeks, there's something weird about being in a hotel for more than like 4 days. Because now it's like, okay, I'm a resident of this. Like somebody send my mail here. Like call my mama. I live here now. Like being in a hotel for too long does give you like a weird feeling, and I can't describe it.
That's why especially if I'm staying at an extended stay, right?
Yeah.
It's specifically this hotel just because they have a lot of kitchenettes and stuff like that.
Yes.
Once I use the kitchenette, we're in a whole different room now.
Yes.
Like popping popcorn's one thing, but once I actually make eggs here, I live here now.
Yes. You ever stayed in the suite?
And I've stayed in the suite, yeah. And it's like you moved here.
Yes. Like an extended. So I've been an extended because we were on the road. And so after a while, you're like, I can't, the way just coming into a room with 2 beds and a TV night after night after night, and every day it's a different hotel. You're like, your brain just goes, what the fuck is happening? So if you're going to be somewhere for a long time, when you're in it, I think we were in like, where were we? Like somewhere in New England, where not only was it a suite, it was a suite with a kitchen. I was like, I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment.
You know what else is a 1-bedroom apartment?
Airbnb.
Hey, you already know.
But you don't need Airbnbs because we have extended stays, baby girl.
Not everywhere. I wanted an extended stay before, and there was not one in the area.
I bet, but also every extended stay is not nice.
Yeah, some of them are the quality varies.
Ooh, you can fuck around and be at the wrong extended stay, and you know you're at the wrong extended stay when there's too many people outside.
There is something about that I don't know what that is, but anytime I'm at a hotel and everything's fine when I check in.
Right.
And then I come back after the show and there's just like 19 people outside smoking. And I'm like, so do they know each other? Or like, and it'll always be just loud enough that I'm like, I cannot tell if they're having fun or if it's about to pop off.
They don't know either. And that's also a problem.
Because it'll be too many people. Because you ever see those fights like, there was this fight that I saw online that happened where there was a weigh-in. There was a boxing weigh-in for like an independent promotion.
Okay, so this was not a fight. This wasn't a street fight. This was an actual professional like boxing match.
This is a professional boxing match weigh-in, right?
Okay.
But it's not a promotion you would be familiar with or anything.
Okay.
It turned into a street fight later because a guy who wants to fight one of the guys who's about to fight. Right. Okay. So I don't know everybody's names. I just know.
So there's
a guy
Ricky and Bobby.
Yeah.
And then Billy wants to fight Ricky.
Billy wants to fight Ricky.
Yes.
But he can't fight him this weekend because Ricky's fighting Bobby.
Right.
So then he gets into it with them post press conference and like throws a drink in his face or whatever, and then goes to walk out. Now, a couple people, affiliated or not, followed him out. Oh. Okay. And then the people who followed him out, now there's just, first of all, there's too many people for a quote unquote good fight because it's just going to be too much confusion.
Okay.
But now outside of this hotel, because that's also what revealed they were at a hotel, because it looked like a very professional, because you can only see what do you call the thing that people take pictures in front of on a red carpet?
Oh, step and repeat.
Okay. Because the step and repeat for the press conference is so big, it looks like a legitimate weigh-in. Oh. It's not until the cameras follow the people that followed the guy out that threw the drink that you see that like, oh, y'all are in like a Holiday Inn Express.
Y'all are the Super 8. Oh.
Y'all are the Super 8.
Microtel. Okay.
He gets outside, and even when they get outside, they got to walk around cars that are parked and stuff like that. And then some people like, tried to rush him and everything, and he got clocked one good time, which he had coming because he threw the drink as a cheap shot and whatever.
He
right?
had it coming. Go ahead. Sorry.
But then as they're walking away, I'm just like, that is the vibe. When I get back from a show, sometimes I'm staying at a hotel.
Yes.
And it's just 19 dudes outside. And like some of them are laughing, but some of them are like, okay, one time I left. I probably shouldn't even tell a story. But one time when I was in college, I can't remember where I was. I was at some bar and I straight up left the bar because there was a guy. I was with my friends, but we were close to campus. Mm-hmm. And there was a guy, two big old dudes, right? Big dudes. Mm. And one guy said something to the other and he was laughing. And the other guy just kept saying, wait, what'd you say? And it was loud in there, right? So he was like, wait, what'd you say? And honestly, I just didn't like the way he kept asking, wait, what'd you say? So I was like, you know what? I don't drink. I have no reason to be here. I'm going to go ahead and walk out now. I'm good.
Right.
I don't sit and stay and wait to see. And you know what I mean?
And then what happened?
Oh, no, they fought. There we
go.
They fought. Yeah.
But
it was just like, it was one of those things where I was like, because first of all, they both look a little drunk. So one of them is going to miss and hit me because I'm sitting next to this dude.
And that's the other reason that hotel bars can't stay open that late, because also you have to remember, this is a bunch of different people from a bunch of different places. Mm-hmm. So they could get the scrapping in here for anything because they're not from Evansville, Indiana. They're just here for this dentist conference.
And the last thing you need is, because the people frequent the bar every night. Every night of the conference, they're going to be at the bar. The last thing you need is somebody to come to the bar and be like, oh, okay, 309, I'll see you later.
Right.
I'll see you later, 309.
The thing with the Airbnb is somebody just like, here, and you're kind of just left to your own devices.
Yeah, I understand that's a huge drawback.
There's no supervision at an Airbnb, and there's sometimes too much supervision at a hotel. Like sometimes, you're just trying to get, like you picked your food up, you're trying to get to your room, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, I've got my food and my stuff. Oh, fuck, I can't get upstairs unless I use my card to put the thing on the fucking elevator. You're like, what's happening? Mm-hmm. Let me go to my fucking room. Mm-hmm. Because some hotels, you just have to hit the thing and then you can press any floor. Other hotels, you hit the shit, you can only press your floor.
Yeah.
So now you're in an elevator and it's like, there's 4 of you in there. It's like, okay, well, I'm on 7 and then you're on 18 and then you're on 26 and then you're on 7. It's like, this is completely fucking, like, I understand. It is for my security and my well-being. But in this moment right now, this shit is annoying. So I think that's the other thing with Airbnbs. It's like, it's, oh shit, I don't have any, I forgot my toothpaste. In the Airbnb, you're asked out. Hotel, you go downstairs, they give you a toothbrush, toothpaste, right? And now I love the little hotel that has like the little convenience store in it. Mm-hmm. But I always think it's weird. I finally was at a hotel that had a little convenience store in it that had condoms.
Okay.
Because I was like, why the fuck don't y'all have condoms? You got a sewing kit, you got a lint roller, you got spray Lysol, you got milk, fucking microwavable dinners.
Okay, this is what's happening though. At least at Airbnbs.
They don't have condoms either.
They don't have condoms because they at least have a reason. You can tell when somebody actually lives at the Airbnb that you're staying at and when somebody is running a chain of Airbnbs,
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can tell that it's someone being like, listen, I'm renting out my place that I live.
Yeah, please. Like, I get it. And if you do, I get it. And hey, if y'all are in love and this is your honeymoon weekend, I'm happy for you. Please, though. Like, I have to live here. So just don't make any memories.
No. You was the one that let people sleep in let 2 grown adults sleep in your bed for 4 days.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. I'm just saying, I think that's the thought process that they have.
Who?
The Airbnb, like, owner. Person doing the Airbnb.
That they hope nobody's in here making whoopee? Is that what the fuck you think is happening?
I'm saying I think that that's what they would. You can't. There's no thing. They say no parties. They say no whatever. But there's nothing in Airbnb where you have to be like, hey, listen, y'all don't do. You can't like dance chaperone your way through an Airbnb. All right. Hey, no touching. You know what I mean?
You can't go. No. I know that you paid this money to stay in my house for 5 days. You and your spouse. But I have to sleep in this bed as well. So please don't have sex. No. What you're going to have to do is change them sheets when you come back. That's what's going to happen.
I'm completely with you. I'm saying I think that they think that.
You think that they don't want people fucking in that bed?
I think so. I think some people don't care. But I think there are people out there who are like, oh, man. Well, this is why I will say, though, for the Airbnb side of it, I understand you're saying that you can't care, and I agree with you that you can't care. But you also know people aren't reasonable.
And you also have to know that if you say no parties, people gonna have a party. You can't delegate who comes up in that bitch.
Yeah.
What you have to do as the owner of the Airbnb is that you have to put a waterproof mattress cover on your mattress. Mm-hmm. And then put a pillow top on top of that. Mm-hmm. And then put some sheets on that bed. Because you decided to rent out your house. And you decided to let people sleep on your mattress.
Whew.
And see, that's the other, because like with the thing about hotels, you always have to be like, okay, other people have slept in this bed. But if you're in an Airbnb, other people have slept in that bed. You're in somebody else's bed. Airbnb is just Uber. Okay? It's just Lyft.
Mm-hmm. It's just Uber with beds.
It's just Uber with beds. It is just Uber with beds. So if you have an issue with people having sex in your bed, then you don't need to have an Airbnb. Or what needs to happen is you need to have a closet in your house big enough, or an area in your house big enough to store your own mattress.
Like a Murphy bed situation, but only for you.
Right. You need
see that.
Hidden bookcase with your mattresses.
That makes sense.
But other than that, this is not going to work. So let's ask the listeners, because honestly, this has been a very civil, factual conversation. I realize I have not come for your neck at all this time.
Yeah, really. Like, truly. I think some people listening might be disappointed.
I mean, they might, but I had therapy this morning. So.
Ooh, if I catch you on your therapy days, I'm winning every one of them. All right? If I'm catching you zen, if I'm catching you centered, there's no hope for you. If I'm catching you at peace. Dulce, if I catch you at peace, oh no. I hate it for you. I hate it for you, and I love it for you. I'm happy for you, and I'm sad for you. But
listen. If
I catch you at peace,
listen. This is something that's close to my heart. I guess that today I felt like, let's really talk about this, as opposed to, because this is a conversation that I have with myself on a regular basis. Like, where am I going to stay? Right?
Okay.
So I was really invested in this conversation today because I'm just like, okay, what do I prefer? Mm-hmm. Because the other thing that I feel like with Airbnbs is I feel like that when I'm in a hotel, it feels generic. It feels sanitized. I know I'm not the first person in here, but I feel like all of this has been set up for me.
Okay, so it really comes down to, and this is for the listener as you're making your decisions, right?
Right.
Regardless of our arguments.
Right.
Do you prefer, this is an extra question to ask yourself. I'm not changing the scenario. I'm just saying, do you prefer something that feels homey and lived in, or something that feels fresh for you on your trips, Fresh
and
for me. I do like a homey feel. I like feeling like oh, hey, I'm visiting with friends at a friend's house, or you know what I mean?
Here's the thing with an Airbnb. You never, depending on how the person runs it and the
Okay.
vibe in that place,
Mm-hmm.
it could feel fresh for me or it can feel lived in and homey.
Okay.
I've been in Airbnbs that were so sanitary. Not sanitary. They were so.
You could tell that nothing went into this.
You threw a TV up, the bed is on stilts, and it's like that's it. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You put some towels in the bathroom. It's like I did what I needed to do. It feels like someone never lived here, right? You know what? Let's throw this over to the listeners. You know, because they travel. Okay.
Yeah. They're worldly people, and I want to know from you. Let us know. Are you down with an Airbnb? Do you prefer a hotel? Where do you like to spend your time when you're not at home? What's your go-to when you're on your travels?
Yes.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you listening.
Thank you.
We look forward to this every week, and next week we'll be back with more. And it'll be intriguing, all right? There'll be brain teasers. You'll be titillated.
Ooh, titties.
Okay? If you are looking to catch up with us on any of the socials, you can find me at Josh Johnson Comedy on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you are looking for Dulcé,
you can find me at Dulcé Sloan on all of the social platforms. It's DulceSloan.
until next time, I hope you have a great rest of the day and a wonderful weekend.
Hotel, motel, holiday inn.